Good evening, grade 12 learners. We are back again on our program History Wednesdays. Remember that I promised you that every Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. we will be discussing history topics for grade 12 learners. And today we are doing the Black Consciousness Movement essay. Okay, mine here is very simple, Bantabami. By this time, I believe all of the grade 12 learners have been given content. Mine is to assist in the content while I'm also helping you with the essay writing skills, which is the most important thing or the most important aspect of the essay. Because having the content alone but not knowing how to write an essay is not good. But so now I'm here to also help you how to write an essay. Now we are dealing with the Black Consciousness Movement. What is it that we are dealing with today, Bandabam? We are dealing with the movement. In this essay, we are dealing with the movement. A movement for what? A movement that was used to influence Black South African with the ideas of Black consciousness. Are we clear, Bandabam? That is why the whole topic was called the Black Consciousness Movement, because the essay focused on the movement that was used to influence Black South Africans with the ideas of Black consciousness philosophy. Okay, Bantabam, asebenzeni-ke njengamanje. Asebenzeni-ke njengamanje. This is the very most important table, Bantabam. This is the very most important table. Kanjani na? This table guides us to understand the difference between the Black consciousness philosophy and the Black consciousness movement. We have the philosophy and we have the movement. Are we clear, Bandabam? Those are two different things. However, they work together. Are we clear? On the left, we have the philosophy. On the right, we have the movement. Are we clear, Bandabam? Now, we are saying a Black consciousness philosophy was referred, or it is referred as an idea. Sorry. It is referred as an idea and a beliefs behind Black consciousness philosophy. Are we clear, Bandabam? And then on the side of the movement, it is referred as an action parts. Are we clear? Meaning here we are looking at the practical aspects. Are we clear, Bandabam? Meaning we are looking at the practical aspects. Here there was a belief. There was a belief which was known as a philosophy, a Black consciousness philosophy. Now, this philosophy, there was a need for it to spread amongst Black South Africans. And in order for this philosophy to spread, action had to be taken. Action had to be taken. And that action was in a practical part. And that practical part was referred to a movement. Are we clear, Bandabam? Now, let us focus on this one now. It says Black consciousness philosophy only focused on the idealism aspects. And then the Black consciousness movement, which include action and the practical parts, included both the ideological aspects, idealism, and the practical aspects. Are we clear, Bandabam? Meaning now, you must understand ukuthi uma sikhuluma nge-Black consciousness movement, we include both the ideological aspects and the practical aspects. You understand? If you will remember, if I remember too correctly, last year there was an essay question which triggered many grade 12 learners. I've used this as an example when we are doing essay writing. It is based on what I'm explaining, that you must have an understanding of this. It is very important that there is a Black consciousness movement and there is a philosophy. And the Black consciousness philosophy only focused on the idealism aspects. However, the Black consciousness movement focused on both the idealism parts and the practical aspects. Are we clear, Bandabam? Now, this table above, it highlights that if Black consciousness movement was characterized by both idealism and practical parts. I hope I'm clear on that one, Bantabam. Okay, now let's start with this diagram. I've decided to create this diagram in order for you to understand this Black consciousness philosophy movement. Okay, now, Bantabam, at first, there was a black power in USA. There was what? A black power in the USA. Now, the black power in the USA, we do understand. It is a topic that is done in paper 1 in history. Now, the black power philosophy or the black power movement focused on the black power philosophy, the philosophy that was used by the African Americans in challenging discrimination and segregation in the USA. Are we clear? It started, all what we're going to talk about here, it started there. And then in South Africa, there was Stephen Bantu Biko. Are we clear? There was one name, Stephen Bantu Biko. Stephen Bantu Biko, he saw what was happening in the USA to say they are black people who were suffering against discrimination in the USA. Then they devised a philosophy, a thinking, because a philosophy is what? Is a belief. They devised a philosophy for black people, which they used successfully in challenging discrimination and segregation in America. And then when he looked at in the context of South Africa, he said, us as black South Africans, we are also facing the challenge against the apartheid system of white regime in South Africa. Why not ourselves adopt a philosophy which will be for black people that they will use against the apartheid system? He was motivated by those who were involved in the black power philosophy. And as a result, Steve Biko came up with a belief, a philosophy. What is a philosophy? It is a belief. Then Steve Biko devised a belief for black South Africans to conscientize them about what? About the apartheid. And then he named it Black Consciousness Movement. Are we clear, Bandabam? He named it Black Consciousness Movement. Steve Biko. He saw it happening in America, adopt them, and then he said South Africans in South Africa, black South Africans should have their own belief. Then he named it Black Consciousness Philosophy. Are we clear? Now, this philosophy was what? Was a thinking capacity. Was a thinking capacity for blacks, thinking capacity for black people in South Africa. Now, also Steve Biko mentioned, black people should think in a way of black consciousness. Kanjani? Because this philosophy, when Steve Biko devised it, he said that black South Africans, they are not inferior in South Africa. They are equal as white people. And then he said, white people in South Africa, they are not superior, but they are equal human as blacks in South Africa. Now, he wanted every black person in South Africa to think in this manner. Ubanoyo, Steve Biko. Ikalela indaba. America. Steve Biko took it. Then what devised the Black Consciousness Philosophy. After devising it, I want every black South Africans to adopt this thinking capacity. Black South Africans must think this way. That's where the movement started to say now, in order for black South Africans to adopt this thinking capacity, I must do an action in order for them to be influenced with this thinking capacity. Movement. That is why we are saying this topic is the Black Consciousness Movement. It was a movement that was used to influence black South Africans with what? With the ideas of Black Consciousness Philosophy. This movement was a movement used to influence black South Africans, all black South Africans in their corners. With what? With the the philosophy or with the ideas or with the thinking capacity of the Black consciousness movement. Are we clear, Bantabam? Now, I want to let diagram, Bantabam. The topic. Okay, now, Bantabam, Steve Biko useqala now movement, and that movement, obvious, it had to start to the people who were very close to him. It had to start with people who were very close to him, because when Steve Biko started this philosophy, he was a student. He was a student. I decided today to wear this University of KwaZulu-Natal blazer, because it's motivated me, because Steve Biko, when he influenced other Black South Africans, he was in the University of Natal. Yeah. So when Steve Biko started this philosophy, he was a student in the University of Natal. Are we clear? So the first people he was going to influence with this philosophy was the people who were very close to him on his day-to-day activities. I'm Black students. Are we clear? Now the movement started with the Black students in universities. They adopted the philosophy. And then after they adopted it, they saw a need to say this philosophy must go in all corners of South Africa. Then these students, together with Steve Biko, they influenced other South Africans with this philosophy of Black consciousness. They influence high school students using the SASM. They influence Black communities at large using these organizations. This is what we will be talking about today, Bantabam. You will see as we go on. Remember, I said to you, I am teaching you the ways of writing an essay. When you start your essay, in the first page, you must write something called an essay structure. An essay structure is a structure that gives you what an aspect of how many paragraphs you will have in your essay. Number one, introduction. You will have an introduction. Number two, background, the reason for Black consciousness movement. The paragraph number 3 will be the ideas or the main aims of Black consciousness philosophy. And paragraph number 4, he role that was played by Steve Biko in influencing South Africans with BCM. Are we clear? With Black consciousness. Paragraph number 5, the role that was played by political organization. Remember I said to you, it had to start to influence on the students. Ubani over influencer on students, it was SASO. So we will look at the role of SASO. How did this organization influence students in universities? Then we will look at now, you see Hambagi movement going to different corners of the university, of the South African communities. There was in a Black People Convention. We will look at the role that was played by Black People's Convention in influencing South African communities with the ideas of Black consciousness. Then another paragraph about IBAU in influencing Black workers, about this philosophy. And then also the influence that was played by ESASM, known as SASM, in high school learners. Sorry, not workers. It's high school learners, Bantabam. It's high school learners. Are we clear? And then we will look at how did the government respond to all this movement that has been mentioned here. Remember, what movement are we talking about? The movement of influencing Black South African with the ideas of Black consciousness. We will be looking at how these organizations together with Steve Biko played a role in influencing South Africans, Black in particular, with the ideas. And then the last will be in conclusion, meaning when, if your essay does not contain 10 paragraphs, there's something missing. You must make sure that to get full marks, you have 10 different paragraphs that speaks about this. Are we clear, Bantabam? Now, let's look at the reasons, the background. Let's look at, we will start look at the first aspect, which is the introduction. In all the topics that I've taught in this program, for essays, I've highlighted this table. I'm going to be brief on it because the videos are there. They are posted on the KZN Department of Education YouTube channels. Now, we are saying in introduction, there are 3 essay questions that will be given. Critically discuss to what extent do you agree? In the do you agree, they will give you a statement, a simple and straightforward statement with no question mark, a straightforward sentence where a learner must take a side. When they say take a stance, when you are writing an introduction, you are following these 3 steps. The first step, take a stance. Second step, support your stance. Third step, give a direction. When you are taking a stance, is to say, do you agree with the statement or do you disagree with the statement? Remember, I said do not use personal pronouns, meaning a learner must say one will not agree if the learner is not agreeing with the statement, if the statement is false. And if the statement is true, then the learner must agree with the statement by stating one will agree with the statement, then bring back the statement. Then here, the step number 2, support your stance. When you support your stance, you are giving us a reason why you are saying you agree with the statement or why you are saying you disagree with the statement. Then in the direction, you are mentioning topics that you will talk about in your essays, Bantabam. You will see the examples. I said, then we have to what extent. Some question will ask you, to what extent did the particular thing happen? In this case, to what extent did Black consciousness influence Black South Africans against apartheid? If the statement is true, then you choose to a greater extent. That is the stance that the learner must take. The learner must read the statement. If the statement is true, the learner takes to a greater extent. If the statement is false, the learner must take a stance that says to a lesser extent. Are we clear, Bandabam? Then follow the same steps. Then in the critically discuss, if you understand that you agree, you automatically understand the critically discuss because you are doing the very same thing. However, you do not use one would agree because agree is a question on its own. So you use the synonyms of agree. Indeed, then bring back the statement, meaning you are in agreement with the statement. Surely, one would affirm, I will claim, it is true that, then bring back the statement, then follow these steps. But if a learner is disputing the statement or the learner is not agreeing with the statement, must not say one will not agree because he will be referring to this question. So he must use the synonyms. Here are these synonyms. One will dispute that, then bring back the statement. One will argue against, then bring back a statement and follow the same steps. Are we clear, Mandabam? Now, let's look at the examples. This is a do you agree statement. They have given you a statement. The Black consciousness movement focused only on psychological freedom. When they say psychological freedom, they mean the idealism parts. Now, sikhuluma ngani nge-Black consciousness movement. Remember, at first to you, I said Black consciousness movement focused on both practical parts and the idealism. But the statement is seen, it's only focused on psychological aspects. Do you agree with that? No, because Black consciousness focused on 2 things, ideological parts and practical parts. That is why the learner chose the stance, one will not agree. That, then bring back the statement. The Black consciousness movement focused only on, then is a back statement exactly as it is, then full stop. Then give us a second step, which is a reason why you are saying you disagree. This is because the Black consciousness movement also included the practical parts of community projects that uplifted Black and allowed them to rely on themselves. Full stop. Then the third steps, I said you mention the topics that you will talk about. You do not mention all the names of the topic. Just mention or highlight 3. Okay, this essay will elaborate. You will speak much more on how the Black consciousness movement challenged apartheid through political organizations such as SASO, meaning you will speak about SASO, PPC, you will speak about PPC, and also SASM. Sorry, Bandabam. And also SASM. Are we clear on that one? Okay, let's move now. This is a second example. Critically discuss. I said to you, critically discuss is the same as do you agree? However, you use the synonyms of agree. The Black consciousness movement became a bulwark of Black South Africans against apartheid regime in 1970s. Then the learner must agree with the statement and says, indeed, Are we clear? Because we said we use the synonym, we don't use agree. Then bring back the statement. Then the step number 2, give us a reason. And step number 3, you do what? You highlight the topics you will talk about. Therefore, this essay will focus on the influence of Steve Biko and the political organizations for black people. Are we clear, Bantabam? Now, let's go to this third example. To what extent? To what extent? When they say to what extent, I said to you, a learner must simply hide this in their question paper and then start reading from the Black consciousness movement instilled self-pride and self-belief in the black to challenge apartheid. Is the statement true or false? Indeed, the statement is true because BCM did instill self-pride and self-belief. Hence, I said to you, if a statement is true, then you choose a stance to a greater extent. And if the statement is not true, then a learner must choose which stance to a lesser extent. And you hide this and then you start reading from here. You understand the nature of the statement, and then if you agree with it, you take a greater extent stance. To a greater extent, then you bring back the statement. The Black consciousness movement instilled pride. Yes, it did. And black and self-belief in blacks to challenge the apartheid system. Then this paragraph that I've highlighted in purple color, then is the reason why you are saying you agree with these ones. Are we clear? Then the last one that I've highlighted in black is the step 3, which a learner must focus on doing what? On mentioning or highlighting the topics that the learner will talk about. The success of the Black consciousness movement in challenging apartheid government is evident in the role played by, meaning you will speak about the role that was played by Steve Biko and other political organizations such as SASO, PPC, and CESN. Are we clear, Bantabam? This is how you write an introduction. 3 different paragraphs. The one of stance, the one that gives you a reason why you took a stance, and the one that highlights the topics you will mention or you will dwell much, you will talk about in your statement. That is how you write your introduction. Remember, we're at what? At the beginning. It's a structure. Then paragraph number 2 is for a background. Background, it doesn't have marks. I must say this, but it gives a way to your essay. Are we clear, Bantabam? And in the background, we are focusing on the reasons for the Black consciousness movement. Why Black consciousness movement? It started in South Africa. Let me explain it to you, Bantabam. Now, in South Africa, the issue started in 1946. The issue started in 1946. What happened in 1946? The National Party came into government. Are we clear, Bantabam? In 1946, the National Party came into government. What color was part of government? One National Party. And in 1948, they started to implement or introduce the new repression laws. New repression laws were introduced in the country. Now, what were those laws? There are many laws that they introduced. However, I will focus on these 3 because it talks about this or the aspects of our essay. The first one was the Suppression of Communism Act of 1950. The Suppression of Communism Act of 1950, it was that law that gave the National Party government the authority or the power to ban all political parties that were against the National Party. They introduced this law with an aim. They then introduced the Bantu Education Acts of 1953. They then introduced the Extension of University Education Acts of 1959. But there are many laws they introduced. However, I will focus on these 3 because they contribute in this essay. Are we clear? Now, let's look at the first law. How did they implement it? Now, there was this law of past laws to say each and every black person in South Africa, wherever they go, they must carry their tompas. And black people were tired of that because it was a crime for you to step outside your home without a tompas. And black people were tired of that. Hence, the ANC and PAC, Pan Africanist Congress, they planned a march of fighting these past laws. And then they planned a march in Sharpeville. And that march resulted into a Sharpeville massacre of 1960. That march that was planned by the ANC and PAC resulted in the Sharpeville massacre of 1960. Hence, the government decided to implement this law and ban this organization because this act was suppressing these communism organizations. Hence, after the Sharpeville massacre, ANC and PAC, they were banned for planning the march against the pass laws. Now, these were the organizations that were there for black people in South Africa. Now, when these organizations were banned, it left a huge political vacuum in South Africa. Meaning there were no organizations that they were there to fight for black people. Are we clear? As a result of that, black students in universities, they saw an opportunity to shine. They then took matters in their own hands to fight against the apartheid system, since there was no one who fought against the apartheid system. After Upenishwe, these organizations, black people were left stranded. There were no ones who were fighting for black people. As a result, the university students saw a need to shine, and then they took matters into their own hands. Hence, they started a black consciousness movement. A black consciousness movement was started by the students in universities. Are we clear? This is why black consciousness movement was formed in South Africa, because there was a political vacuum which was caused by these laws, these operation laws that were implemented by the National Party government when they came into power. Are we clear, Bandabam? Okay. Now, essay black consciousness movement, we are looking at how to write an essay. Are we clear? In background, Bandabam, it's just a simple and straightforward paragraph. You must just write a paragraph about this information. When the National Party government came into power, they introduced new laws of operation, which ended up banning the ANC and the PAC after the Sharpeville massacre of 1960. This left a political vacuum in South Africa. The experience of black students within the white-led organization NUSAS also contributed. Hence, students saw a need to take matters into their own hands. Hence, they formed a black consciousness movement. A simple and straightforward paragraph with no pill method. Okay. Now, all the following paragraphs, you must apply the pill method. What is the pill method? It's a method that is used in an history essay, because our essay is an argumentative essay. Each and every content paragraph, you must argue throughout. And remember that you took a stance. Now, you must support your stance as an argument throughout your essay. Now, a pill method stands for point. The first sentence of the paragraph must be a point. Explanation, you are explaining that point. What is it about? Then evidence. E is for evidence. This one, Bandabam. That E is for evidence. We are talking about the content here. Bring back all the content. After bringing all the content, you must include the L, line of argument, a link. Are we clear, Bandabam? Because an essay without a line of argument is meaningless. Each and every content paragraph, you must include a line of argument. What are you linking? You are linking your content back to the argument you took in the stance. Are we clear, Bandabam? Now, Utiwan, at the end of each content paragraph, you must include a linking sentence. It should something learned. You must include a linking sentence that links your content, the specific information of your content, to the argument statement you made in your introduction. And when you start your line of argument, you start it with these words: for the fact that, by having. Now, you don't make a mistake of saying, I will make but an example when we do a paragraph example. Learners used to say, the evidence in this paragraph proves that, without mentioning a linking sentence. You must have a linking sentence before you highlight the argument of the statement. Now, when you start a paragraph, you start with these words. Furthermore, usungena kwi-sentence lakho. In addition, you start your sentence. Sorry, you start your paragraph. Moreover, you start your paragraph. You don't just start a paragraph out of nowhere. This is the start of your paragraph. Furthermore, then you continue. In addition, then you continue with your paragraph. Moreover, then you continue with your paragraph. This is very important, Mandabam. Don't take it very light. Okay? Now, let's go to this. Now, remember I said there was Steve Biko who introduced a black consciousness philosophy. Now, my introducer in black consciousness philosophy, why say niggas are my ideas? He gave a black consciousness the ideas. Let's look at the idea behind this black consciousness, Steve Biko. We are saying if black consciousness philosophy was an attitude of mind. What do we mean by saying it was an attitude of mind? It was the way of thinking. Remember, I said it was a thinking capacity. It was a way of thinking for black people. That black people in South Africa should think about the ideas of black consciousness philosophy and a way of life. Are we clear? It was founded by Steve Biko in the 1960s. Steve Biko from the Black Power movement. Are we clear? Now let's look at the aim. Steve Biko devising this consciousness philosophy. Why funani? What was his goal? Now we are looking at the black consciousness philosophy aims. What did this consciousness philosophy aimed at? It's aimed at conscientizing black South Africans about the evil system of apartheid. There was a suppression of communism acts which banned ANC and PAC. After these two organizations were banned, black South Africans, they realized, no, it's over. They started to accept apartheid. Are we clear? They started to lose hope and accept apartheid. Then Steve Biko came and said, no. Let me conscientize you. When you say conscientizing, making people aware, Steve Biko came and made black South Africans to be aware, not to accept what? These apartheid systems. He wanted them to be aware that this system of apartheid is some sort of evil system. Do not accept it in your mind. Remove that idea. Are we clear? Now, he wanted black South Africans to remove the inferiority mindset, because now abantu abamnyama in South Africa, they had that mindset that bona they are inferior to abantu abamhlophe. You see this thing of seeing a white person and then because you are living in next to the white person community, then you think you are superior. No, even if you are living in a black community society, you are also superior as a black person. Now, abantu abamnyama, they thought in their mind they are inferior to white people. And Steve Biko, the aim of this was to remove that mindset, to deal with their psychological effect, to say, no, you are not inferior, you are equal to white people. It also encouraged black people to be united, to say, hey, this evil system of apartheid, in order to fight it, you must unite. You must do a solidarity for all black South Africans that they were oppressed by apartheid. This aim of consciousness, of black consciousness, was to unite black people. Are we clear? Now, it influenced black people to be assertive, to do things for themselves. Meaning, when they say assertives, meaning black people, they were influenced to do things for themselves, to not rely on white people. You must not rely on white people. You must do things for yourself. It's also aimed at instilling a feeling of black pride, to say, I'm a black person. And as a black person, I am indeed beautiful. You must embrace your black people, your black skin. Now, the aim of this was to instill the feeling of pride, black culture, and black history for black South Africans. Are we clear, Mandabam? This was the aim of black consciousness philosophy. So, a learner must then have a paragraph of this, using a pin method. Let me show you an example. Let me show you an example. Okay, Bandabam, let's go back a little bit. Let's say a learner is responding to this statement of to an extent. To a greater extent, the Black consciousness movement instilled self-pride and self-belief in blacks to challenge apartheid system. This is a statement that we are going to be following in our essays. Let's say a learner is responding to this essay. Let's look at how a learner is supposed to write the essay of the aims. Sorry, the paragraph of the aims. The main aims of the philosophy was to influence black people with self-pride and self-belief. Are we clear, Bandabam? Now, we say explain now. The Black consciousness was a philosophy which was a way of life and an attitude of mind. We are creating a paragraph using these notes. All these things are mentioned here in these notes. Are we clear, Mandabam? Now, give us a content here now. Started by Ubanam Steve Biko. Its main aim was to do what? To conscientize the black South Africans about the evil system of apartheid. It's also aimed at removing the inferiority complexity amongst the black South Africa, amongst blacks in South Africa. Are we clear? All these things that is mentioning now is there on the slides. And learner is compiling a paragraph using that slide. Are we clear, Bandabam? It's also aimed at instilling assertiveness amongst the blacks so that they can become independent and above all instill the feeling of black pride, black culture and black history. This is what is here on this slide. A learner must compile a paragraph using these slides. Now, a learner is finished writing what? The content, which is evidence. The learner must write now a link, let us say in a line of argument. Remember, we said when you write a link, you must have a linking sentence that links your paragraph or your evidence or your content. You link them, you must have a sentence that joins both the red column and the stance that you took. Which stance did the learner take? Is that to a greater extent, the Black consciousness movement did instill pride and self-belief to challenge Black consciousness, to challenge the apartheid system, right? Now, you start with these words. For the fact that the philosophy aimed at instilling black pride, unity, and assertiveness. Now, he is highlighting, the learner highlighted what was mentioned here, but not word for word. When we say highlights, you are not putting it direct, you are highlighting it. Summarized what has been mentioned here. This is what has been mentioned. Instilling black pride, black unity, and assertiveness. For the fact that the philosophy aimed at instilling black pride, unity, and assertiveness in the black South Africans, it highlights, another learner might say, shows that, is an evidence that, Subwisa now, the argument of the statement, Black consciousness movement was able to instill black pride and self-belief in blacks, which encourage blacks to challenge apartheid. Are we clear? The mistake that is used to be done by other learners in this essay, when they come here, they say, starting now a link to say, the evidence in this paragraph proves that, Abu is a fake statement, proves that the Black consciousness movement was able to instill pride. No, you can't just bring back the statement, Bantabami. There is not a line of argument. It is the lowest standard of linking. You must have a sentence that highlights your content together, that you join together with the statement. For the fact that the Black consciousness philosophy aimed at instilling black pride, unity, you are highlighting what is mentioned here. Now, that shows or is an evidence that then you bring back your argument in the statement. Learners, please stay away from saying here The evidence in this paragraph proves that without highlighting, you must highlight all the things you said in your, not all, highlight some of the things you said in the content, which was a success towards this stance. I hope I'm clear, Bandabam. We will do example number 2 in another paragraph. Let's look at the role that was played by Steve Bantu Biko. We are looking what now? At the role that was played by Steve Bantu Biko. Now, Steve Bantu Biko was born in 1946 in King Williamstown in Eastern Cape. Now, Kubambe Loku, ENP came into power in 1946. Then ENP was challenged by who? Steve Biko in the 1960s. Are we clear, Mandabam? Now, in 1966, Steve Biko enrolled as a medical student in the University of Natal, which is now known as UKZN. Back then, it was known as the University of Natal. Are we clear? That is whereby Steve Biko was motivated by who? By the Black Power movement in the USA to join student politics. And when he joined student politics, he joined an organization which was called NUSAS. Are we clear? Now, this organization was dominated by whites. This organization was dominated by whites. Now, we are looking at the role now that was played by Steve Biko. Here, we were just highlighting to you that Steve Biko started politics in 1966 after being influenced by Black Power movement and then joined NUSAS. Let's look at his role now in influencing Black South Africans. Steve Biko is regarded as the father of Black consciousness philosophy because uyena owaqala i-Black consciousness philosophy. And then he played an influence in making, remember I said these organizations was dominated by white people, meaning it did not cater the needs of Black students. Are we clear? So Steve Biko, one of the roles that he played, he was able to influence Black students to leave NUSAS and form their own organization, which is known as SASO. That is an influence of Steve Biko. To say, leave this organization, let's have our own organization, which will cater our need, and it was called SASO, South African Students Organization. We are looking at the role played by Steve Biko, remember. Now, also, Steve Biko was an eloquent speaker. As an eloquent speaker, he was able to use his speeches to influence Black South Africans with the ideas of Black consciousness. He used an advantage of being an eloquent speaker through his speeches. One of his famous speech that he made, he said, the most potent weapon in the hands of the oppressed is the mind of the oppressed. Are we clear? Now, Steve Biko, YLC, this white apartheid system government is not just implementing apartheid on us. The only thing that they are doing, they are controlling our mindsets. We must shift away their mindsets and instill the mindsets of Black consciousness, which stated that Black people are also superior. They are not inferior. Are we clear, Bandabam? Now, also, Steve Biko, as his influence, he was a good writer. He was able to influence Black South Africans using his writing skills as a writer or as a good writer. And his famous book that he wrote was I Write What I Like, which contained the philosophy of Black consciousness. When students or when Black people read this book, I Write What I Like, they were easily influenced by the ideas of Black consciousness. Steve Biko played a role in influencing the ideas of Black consciousness on Black people using speeches as an eloquent speaker and using books such as I Write What I Like as a good writer. Are we clear, Bandabam? And then Biko believed that oppressed people must believe that they are worth of freedom and equality before they can be free. So Steve Biko wanted to challenge the psychological aspects of Black people to say, hey Nina, how? You are not inferior. Bunjani, you are not inferior to white people. You are also superior. You must challenge your mindsets. Are we clear, Bandabam? This is the role that was played by Steve Biko in making sure that Black people are conscientized. Are we clear, Bandabam? Now, let's look at the paragraphs now. black students to join it, to join SASO and leave this white dominant NUSAS students. Are we clear? Also, Biko was an eloquent speaker. What we say there is we are creating a paragraph using net slides or AMA notes. Biko was an eloquent speaker and he used that to his advantage in influencing blacks through speeches such as the famous speech, the most potent weapon in the hands of the oppressor here, not oppressed. Oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. He also influenced other blacks through his writing, such as his famous book, I Write What I Like. Full stop. You are done with the content. Then the most important thing in your essay, line of argument, or what we know as the link. I said in the link, you must have a sentence, a highlight of this, a sentence that highlights few things you mention in your content, and then you join it together with your stance in the introduction. Are we clear? And when you start it, you start by these words, by having, or for the fact that. Now, by having, Biko influencing black students with his writings and encouraging them to resist having their minds held captive by the oppressors, proves that, after proves, that is where you bring back the line of argument in your stance, proves that the black consciousness movement was indeed able to influence blacks in challenging the apartheid, because our main focus is to prove that if black consciousness movement was able to do what? To influence blacks in challenging the apartheid. Or for the fact that Steve Biko was able to influence black South Africans using his speeches to challenge to resist apartheid is an indication or is an evidence or it proves that, then you bring back the argument of your statement. Learners, once again, do not link by saying this information in this paragraph proves that. We don't like that in the marking center. A line of argument must consist a joining sentence of what you said in your content together with your line of argument together with the argument stance that you took in the introduction, but you join it after saying proves that, or it is evidence that, or it shows that. Are we clear, Bantabam? Are we clear? Now let's look at the role that was played by SASO. Okay, I said when Steve Biko devised this philosophy, he then influenced people who were close to him, which was called AMA students, and then in making sure that they formed SASO, there was NUSAS as the organization for black people. Now, NUSAS was dominated by white people. And in university, they decided that the universities, they will have a new policy of separate accommodation. Now, this policy was saying black students will have their own organization, will have their own apartment or in accommodations, which had very poor infrastructure, and white students was going to be given accommodation with good infrastructure. And NUSAS organization was supposed to defend the black students, but they approved it, which gave birth to SASO. Because now, AMA black students, they were frustrated by this police to say, accommodations are better. They then left NUSAS and they formed their own organization, which was called SASO in 1968. Bantabam. Here, another mistake that is done by students. AMA students, they focus more on speaking what was done by NUSAS. No. It is a, how did black consciousness movement influence blacks in challenging apartheid? NUSAS didn't do anything in challenging apartheid. However, it supported apartheid. So you must never dare have a separate paragraph speaking about NUSAS. Remember, you are responding to the question. Here, what made students to challenge apartheid? It was SASO. But in order for you to understand the formation of SASO, you must briefly highlight be brief in highlighting NUSAS, that students left NUSAS because they were unhappy as they accepted this policy, and SASO was formed. Now, SASO was formed. Let's look at the role that was played by SASO in influencing students with the ideas of Black consciousness. Are we clear? Now, when SASO was formed, its primary role was to protect and defend the image of Black students in universities, was to protect and defend the image of Black students when in universities. A year later, SASO branches. Now, SASO in the University of Natal. Then it was launched in ghetto universities. When I say ghetto universities, I talk about the extension of University Education Act 1959 that said there must be universities for Black students, such as University of Zululand, University of South Africa, University of Fort Hare. And then it was launched in all these universities. Are we clear? Now, SASO in trying to do what? To fight against the repression laws in universities, they use newsletters. SASO played a role in using newsletters to spread the ideas of Black consciousness philosophy. We are looking at how did this organization, this political organization, played a role in influencing Black students in universities. With the influence of Black consciousness, having been influenced by it, they were able to speak for themselves against the apartheid system in universities. All what was happening in university, which was unjust. SASO was then able to speak and protect the Black students. Are we clear? Because they were influenced by the ideas of Black consciousness. Are we clear, Bantabam? SASO, remember, I'm saying now, if Black consciousness, it is only found where? In universities. Started by Steve Biko, Wesley Faram, in different universities. It is only on students now. SASO then saw a need to have a broader and a bigger voices to articulate the demands of Black people in South Africa. Now, SASO didn't only play the role in the universities. SASO also played a role across South Africa in making sure that South Africa as a whole, they challenge apartheid using a Black consciousness ideas. Are we clear, Matabam? Now, on its first conference in 1972, it invited adult people. Remember, ANC is banned. PAC is banned. There is no one in communities that are protecting or that is challenging apartheid. The apartheid was only being challenged in universities by Steve Biko and members of SASO. Now, they realized that in order to be successful in challenging apartheid, they need to invite South African communities and also make them challenge the apartheid system. Are we clear? Hence, in its conference in 1972, they invited adult people to influence them to also challenge apartheid. Are we clear? Now, in doing that, they did what? SASO also organized the Viva Frelimo rallies. Now, these rallies, the Frelimo rallies, a rally that was done in Mozambique to fight for their independence against the Portuguese. So SASO nayo yahlela ama Vivo Frelimo rallies to inspire Black South Africans to challenge apartheid. They did it in Mozambique. Let us do it here in South Africa. Are we clear? Now we are saying in conference SASO wanted to spread ideas in different corners of South Africa. They then influence adult people to form their organization, which was called Black People's Convention. They influenced black adults in South Africa to form their organization, which was an umbrella organization of the Black consciousness and an adult wing of SASO. And that organization was called the Black People's Convention. SASO influence abantu abadala. It influenced also high school learners to do what? To challenge apartheid. Now, in challenging apartheid, it's influenced high school students to form an organization which was called South African Student Movement, SASM, SASM. SASM was an organization that was formed in this conference. Its role was to do what? To mobilize high school students. You will remember in the later stage, we will talk about the Soweto uprising that was planned by this organization. To say, hey, when I say them, go and influence high school learners to adopt the ideas of Black consciousness. Again, the role of SASO, we are speaking about the role of SASO. Again, with the influence of the Black consciousness philosophy, SASO encouraged Black workers to form their own unions, which will participate in the struggle of Black workers in workfield. And that union was called IBAU, Black Allied Workers Union. Plus, again, in this paragraph of SASO, please move away from flooding your paragraph with the NUSAS. We are speaking on how if Black consciousness influence Black South Africans in challenging apartheid. Why, when you will choose to focus more on NUSAS? NUSAS didn't play a role in challenging apartheid. However, you must highlight the NUSAS that it was there at first. Black students joined it. NUSAS didn't cater the needs of Black students. Hence, they left NUSAS and formed SASO. Then speak about how Black consciousness was spread in university students through SASO. Because you are talking about here the movement of spreading in the ideas of what? Of Black consciousness philosophy. How did Black consciousness or what movement was played by SASO in influencing students with the ideas of Black consciousness philosophy? Let us now move to also the paragraph examples on how to write the paragraph of SASO. I said to you, a paragraph, you start with these words. In addition, furthermore, moreover, Nakog. In addition, SASO is one of the organizations that played a vital role in shaping the way of life for Black South Africans during the apartheid era. SASO, or South African Student Movement, yes, SASO, was then formed in 1968 as a student organization that was mainly to cater for Black students in universities after NUSAS showed no interest in defending them. I've only mentioned NUSAS once. I'm speaking about movement of Black consciousness. NUSAS didn't do anything to push a movement, Black consciousness, but it was SASO. But in order to mention SASO, you need to highlight that there was NUSAS, and then students left in NUSAS to join SASO. Let's speak about the role of SASO. The main role of SASO, we are compiling a paragraph using the notes that I gave you. The main role of SASO was to protect the image of Black students in universities. Branches of SASO was widely spread in universities that were dominated by Black students, such as University of Zululand, which is now known as UniZulu, but it was known as University of Zululand. Students being influenced by Black consciousness, by Black consciousness, they gained confidence in challenging the unjust policies in universities. Also, SASO wanted to spread the ideas of Black consciousness on Black South Africans. Hence, in the 1972 conference, they influenced adults to participate in challenging the apartheid. You see our organizations, Black People's Convention, BAU, and SASMs were formed under the influence, of Black consciousness to resist apartheid in all corners of South Africa. When we say in all corners, this one was to influence different communities. This one, BAU, was to influence workers, and SASM was to influence high school learners. Now you see that if Black consciousness is going or is moving on a direction whereby all corners in South Africa, they will challenge apartheid. In university students on SASO, In communities, you have Black People's Convention. In workplace, you have BOW. In high schools, you have SASM to challenge. And in that case, after 1972, apartheid was being challenged in all corners of South Africa. Then you go to the last sentence, which is called the line of argument, the important one. I said you start with for the fact that, or you start with by having. Now, I said in the line of argument, it is a sentence that highlights what you mentioned in the red color, in the content, and then join it together with your stance in the introduction. Bugalana, for the fact that university students started to stand for themselves in resisting oppression laws. Kukhona lokho la. Omunye ngathi for the fact that university, omunye ngathi by having the university students being able to stand for themselves in resisting oppression laws in universities is the evidence or shows that. Then you bring your introduction stance that Black consciousness movement indeed instilled Black pride and self-belief on Blacks in doing what? In challenging apartheid. Move away from doing this. This is evidence. Oh, the information in the above paragraph proves that indeed Black consciousness movement instilled. Hey, this is not how we link. You link by starting with a sentence that highlights what you said in your content together with your stance in the line of argument. For the fact that Black consciousness, for the fact that university students was able to influence adults in South Africa to also participate in challenging what? Apartheid. It proves that, or it shows that your argument stands. It proves that Black consciousness movement instilled Black pride and and self-belief on Blacks to challenge the apartheid. This is how you write the paragraph, Pandabam. For now, today, because our hour has been finished, in our next session, we will